Did you know Zendaya and Bella Thorne started their careers together on Disney Channel? Well, careers of these two girls could not have been more different than they are today. Anyway, coming back to Zendaya's story. We've all seen the narrative before. The child star, burned out. The teen idol, struggling to shed the past. Too many times, the same story. Hollywood has a cruel, almost ritualistic way of consuming talent born under the brightest lights. For decades, the path from Disney Channel to credible adult stardom was not a transition. It was a curse. But then, there is Zendaya. If you don't know Zendaya, well, get out from under the rock and find Tom's girlfriend, who is a superstar. She didn't just survive the transition. She dismantled the expectations, piece by meticulous piece, and built something entirely new in its place. Two-time Emmy winner, global fashion icon, the youngest woman in history to lead a billion-dollar sci-fi franchise. At just 28, she has achieved the kind of creative and commercial control most actors spend a lifetime chasing. But how? How did she manage a perfect, strategic pivot from brightly lit sitcoms to the raw, unflinching world of HBO drama? To understand the art of breaking the Disney curse, we have to rewind. Hey everyone, welcome to the Star Rewind. Today, we are dissecting the evolution of Zendaya. Zendaya Marie Stormer Coleman was born in 1996 in Oakland, California. Not New York ambition, not Hollywood pedigree, but a city rooted in community and culture. Her mother worked as the house manager at the California Shakespeare Theater. Her father was a physical education teacher who managed local sports teams. Art and performance, much like Timothy's upbringing, weren't just a dream in her household. They were the environment. From an early age, Zendaya was constantly around the world of stage production, rehearsals, and costume changes. She wasn't an overnight sensation, discovered in a mall. She was a theater kid who learned the structure of performance before she learned the spotlight. She grew up surrounded by diverse narratives and the rigorous discipline of the stage. This environment taught her early lessons that would define her career: discipline, work ethic, and a respect for the craft over the fame. Now, let's dive into how this foundation translated into her first steps into the spotlight, and how she immediately began to exercise agency over her image. Her first major role came in 2010 on the Disney Channel's Shake It Up. She was Rocky Blue, one half of a dancing duo. On paper, it was standard Disney fare, but Zendaya immediately brought a grounded realism to the role. Rocky wasn't just a loud, cartoonish character. She was intelligent, driven, and often the moral anchor of the show. She showed early skill in balancing energetic comedy with genuine emotion. Then came Frenemies, 2012. A typical Disney Channel original movie, where Zendaya played Halle Brandon, exploring themes of friendship dynamics. This role, while small, continued to refine her on-screen charisma and proved she could carry a narrative lead. And in 2013, she made a crucial, strategic move off the Disney lot. She competed on season 16 of Dancing with the Stars. At 16, she was the youngest contestant in the show's history. This was more than a TV appearance. It was an act of personal rebranding. By reaching the finale and taking the runner-up spot, she proved two things to a massive non-Disney audience. Her discipline was immense, and her star power was undeniable. It was a calculated risk that dramatically expanded her mainstream visibility. In 2014, she starred in Zapped as Zoe Stevens, navigating a high school social dynamic. Again, a conventional role, but she was already demonstrating an ability to elevate the material through subtle acting choices, showcasing a quiet, intelligent strength. The shift truly began in 2015 with KC Undercover. Here, Zendaya played Casey Cooper, a spy in training. Crucially, she wasn't just an actor, she was a producer. She successfully insisted the show feature a family of color and negotiated the inclusion of martial arts and a character who was academically strong, not just cool. This was not just a performance. It was her first clear demonstration of creative control. She was the boss, subtly shaping the narrative while still pleasing the masses. This period, from 2010 to 2015, wasn't about breaking the curse. It was about building the impenetrable walls of the foundation. She established her own personal brand of professional control long before the outside world started paying attention. By 2017, the foundation was complete. Zendaya had established herself as a trusted, disciplined brand that Disney couldn't ignore. Now, it was time for the strategic demolition of the walls that contained her. Her move was not reckless. It was calculated. She didn't jump straight into gritty indie drama. She pivoted by surrounding herself with giants. In 2017, her first major move was Marvel's Spider-Man: Homecoming. Imagine that. Imagine stepping into movies and have your first movie as the Spider-Man. It is kind of crazy, but also kind of she deserves it. In the peak of Marvel, she got a role in one of the major movies of Marvel. She stepped into the massive blockbuster machine as MJ. This was a pivotal role because it was a reinterpretation. Her MJ was observational, cynical, and quietly intelligent. This role did two things. First, it immediately exposed her to the massive global audience of the MCU. Second, it allowed her to show subtle, deadpan comedic timing and a grounded realism. This really did put her on the map. Also in 2017, she starred in The Greatest Showman as in Wheeler, an aerialist caught in a forbidden romance. She balanced the musical spectacle with genuine vulnerability. The role required immense physical discipline, solidifying her status as a triple threat: acting, singing, and dancing. Though the film's overall reception was mixed, her performance, particularly her chemistry with Zac Efron, was consistently singled out by critics and became a major fan favorite, proving her instant star quality outside of Disney. Crucially, in 2018, she voiced Michi in the animated film Smallfoot. This was a smart choice, a low-stakes, high-visibility family movie that maintained her connection with younger fans. In 2019, she made a subtle but important choice, appearing in the cult Netflix series The OA as Fola Yuzaki. This short but memorable role as a highly unconventional, complex character in an auteur project showed she was already exploring darker, more experimental material. Still in 2019, she reprised her role as MJ in Spider-Man: Far From Home. This sequel marked a major step for the character, moving her from the sardonic outcast to the central love interest. The film focused heavily on the blossoming romance between her and Peter Parker. Zendaya's performance allowed her to shed some of the character's homecoming quirks, making her more vulnerable, perceptive, and supportive. This was a key moment where she was no longer just the snarky friend, but the heart of the franchise's emotional core, successfully making the leap to a leading lady in a global tentpole. And then she found her game changer, Rue Bennett in HBO's Euphoria, which also began in 2019, taking on a raw, unflinching role as a teenager struggling with addiction was the ultimate statement. This move wasn't just a pivot, it was a declaration of her dramatic intent. The gamble paid off spectacularly. In September 2020, she won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series, becoming the youngest woman in history to do so. Her second win in 2022 solidified her as an actor of generational talent. Quick side note, if you're enjoying this deep dive into how actors build their careers, subscribing, liking, or commenting really helps a new channel grow. Your support is what drives the Star Rewind. The pivot was complete. By choosing Spider-Man for scale, The Greatest Showman for spectacle, and Euphoria for credibility, Zendaya proved she was not just an actor for hire. She was an artist with intentional control over her own evolution. By 2021, Zendaya had broken the curse, securing her Emmys and Blockbuster status. She wasn't chasing a career anymore. She was curating a legacy. This era is defined by two things: scale and intimacy. In 2021, she returned to the MCU for Spiderman: No Way Home, solidifying her character, MJ, as a vital emotional centerpiece of the biggest franchise in the world. That film turned out to be an absolute blockbuster, continuing her streak of success. In the same year, she voiced the iconic Lola Bunny in Space Jam: A New Legacy. This was a massive cross-generational visibility role, showcasing her influence across film, television, and animation. But simultaneously, she chose intimacy. In 2021, she collaborated with Euphoria creator Sam Levinson on Malcolm and Marie. She co-produced the film and played Marie, an actress confronting her volatile partner. This was an acting showcase, raw, exposed, and entirely focused on dialogue and chemistry, proving her power lies in the acting itself. And then came the franchise designed for royalty. In 2021, she first appeared as Cheney in Denis Villeneuve's Dune. This is where the new generation of Hollywood royalty meets. If you haven't seen our deep dive into the evolution of her co-star, Timothée Chalamet, click the card above. In Dune, Part 1, her presence was minimal but potent. In 2024, she took the lead alongside Chalamet in Dune, Part 2, balancing a grounded political intelligence with intense physical action. This was a critical moment. She proved she could anchor a serious, complex sci-fi epic while standing on the world's biggest red carpets. Dune cemented her as a cinematic heavyweight. Her latest pivot is perhaps the most strategic of all. In 2024, she starred in Luca Guadagnino's Challengers. In this role, she is both the seductive, controlling nexus of the story and a producer on the film. Her performance is pure authority, controlling the emotional and physical energy of the entire movie. It's a complex, challenging role that utilizes her star power while forcing her to play a morally ambiguous character. Zendaya is no longer just an actor. She is a machine, a producer who chooses her directors carefully, a star who demands narrative complexity, and an icon who treats her image and performances as inseparable parts of one meticulously crafted artistic statement. She didn't wait for Hollywood to crown her. She strategically built the throne herself, brick by brick, from the sound stages of Disney to the sands of Arrakis. This was the art of breaking the Disney curse. If you like star rewinds or evolution stories, subscribe to our channel as we keep bringing such videos every other day. Don't forget to comment below and tell us which performance you think defines her career the most.